Hello everyone, and welcome back to TV Day's Drama Digest. Today we're delving into one of Salem's most explosive and nerve-wracking storylines, a storyline that could change the power dynamics of days of our lives forever. Our hot topic for discussion revolves around the fate of Vivian and whether Kate and Philip are willing to go to unthinkable extremes to keep her from exposing their darkest secret. Grab a seat, get comfortable, and prepare for our in-depth analysis and predictions regarding this chilling twist. A celebration turned sour, the aftermath of a hard-fought victory in a scene that initially promised triumph. Kate and Philip were in high spirits as they celebrated their recent victory. After the tumultuous battle for control over the Dimera Empire, it seemed that Xander and Philip had finally emerged as the new power brokers in Salem. The celebration, however, was a fragile moment of euphoria in a town where danger and betrayal lurk just beneath the surface. At the same time, the Empire was reeling from an entirely different crisis. EJ Dimera is now fighting for his life in a hospital bed, left comatose after a vicious attack that has sent shockwaves through Salem. With the once dominant EJ incapacitated and Kristen Dimera under heavy suspicion for orchestrating the ambush, the balance of power has become dangerously volatile. Every decision made in the wake of these events could have irreversible consequences for every member of the Dimera clan. Vivian's shocking return, the demands that could change everything just as Kate and Philip were still basking in the afterglow of their hard-won success. The unexpected happened. Vivian reappeared, uninvited and with a score to settle. Known for her dramatic flair and unyielding determination, Vivian crashed the celebration with a singular demand. She wanted a worthy reward for her part in a secret that had been the linchpin of Philip's ascent to power. Vivian isn't asking for a mere apology or even monetary compensation. She is here to claim her due as the mastermind behind the forged letter that allowed Philip to inherit half of Titan. This letter was not just a piece of paper. It was the keystone that secured Philip's current power and ensured his position among Salem's elite. For Vivian, recognition of her contribution is non-negotiable, and her presence is a clear threat to the carefully constructed empire that Kate and Philip have built. Her ultimatum is brutal: comply with her demands, or risk having her secret laid bare. And if the truth about the forged letter surfaces, the fallout would be catastrophic. Not only would Philip lose everything he's fought for, but the entire balance of power in Salem could collapse. This isn't simply a matter of honor. It's a high-stakes game of survival in a world where one misstep can mean ruin. The deadly dilemma: to silence or to negotiate. Facing this explosive predicament, one question looms large. Will Kate and Philip resort to extreme measures to keep Vivian from exposing their secret? The reality is that the stakes could not be higher. With the forged letter standing as the cornerstone of Philip's authority, any leakage of information would effectively dismantle the empire they have so painstakingly built. Here, we step into the realm of bitter speculation and dangerous prediction. In Salem, where moral boundaries are routinely blurred in the quest for power, the possibility of silencing someone permanently is never far-fetched. Philip's position is built on secrets and betrayals, and he might soon find himself driven by the single-minded need to protect his legacy at any cost. Could it be that Kate and Philip have already contemplated or even executed a plan to dispose of Vivian once and for all? The mere thought sends shivers down the spine. For them, silence might not be a temporary fix, but the only way to ensure that the forged letter, and therefore their control over Titan, remains hidden from prying eyes. In a town like Salem, where loyalty is as fleeting as a whispered rumor, opting for a permanent solution might seem like the only viable path to maintain their power. The price of power, ethical boundaries, and moral ruin, of course. The prospect of eliminating a key figure like Vivian is fraught with profound implications. On the surface, it appears to be a calculated move by two of Salem's most determined strategists. However, this decision would come at an immeasurable moral cost. By choosing to silence Vivian forever, Kate and Philip would be crossing a line from which there is no return, a line that permanently stains their legacies. For many longtime viewers, the idea is as disturbing as it is compelling. The transformation of characters from once relatable figures into cold, calculated operatives capable of unspeakable acts is exactly the kind of narrative that leaves us reeling. The question isn't just whether they will act against Vivian, it's what kind of future they are forging for themselves and for Salem. Such an action would echo throughout every corner of the Dimera Empire. It would send a chilling message to every adversary and ally alike. In Salem, there are no limits to the lengths one will go to protect power. But as the empire teeters on the edge of dissolution, and as the ghosts of past sins continue to haunt them, could there be a better solution? Or is the path of radical elimination the only way to secure their newfound authority? Predictions and possibilities. What does the future hold? At this junction, the tension is palpable. Let's break down the pivotal questions and possible outcomes that are simmering beneath the surface. Will Kate and Philip choose violence over compromise? The forged letter is too valuable a secret to risk exposure. Could Kate and Philip have already set wheels in motion to eliminate Vivian, and by extension, the potential threat she represents? The dramatic implications of such a choice would change the narrative fabric of Days of Our Lives, turning personal vendettas into acts of irreversible ambition. What will be the fallout if Vivian's secret comes to light? The revelation of Vivian's involvement in forging the letter would not only strip Philip of his power, but could also lead to a complete upheaval of the Dimera hierarchy. The ensuing chaos might spark a war among Salem's power players, pitting family against family in an all-out battle for control. Is there an alternative to extreme measures? While some might hope for a negotiation or compromise that appeases Vivian without resorting to lethal force, the history of Salem suggests that such moments of peace are rare and fleeting. The high-stakes nature of the forged letter and the desperate scramble to control its fallout may well force the hand of those who refuse to risk public humiliation. What does this mean for the legacy of the Dimera Empire? Any decision made in the coming days will have long-lasting repercussions. Will the empire endure through cunning alliances and whispered deals, or will it crumble under the weight of betrayal and bloodshed? Final thoughts. The uncertain fate of Vivian and the future of Salem as we wrap up our deep dive into this most tantalizing storyline. The big question remains, will Kate and Philip silence Vivian permanently? The potential for such a drastic act casts a long, dark shadow over their future, one that could redefine the very essence of power in Salem. At TV Days Drama Digest, we remain on high alert, tracking every move, every whispered rumor, and every strategic maneuver. Will the secret behind the forged letter remain hidden at all costs? Or will the explosive truth eventually shatter the tenuous peace that has been so hard-won? In a world where loyalty is fleeting and desperation often trumps morality, the coming episodes promise to be a roller coaster of heart-stopping confrontations, treacherous alliances, and, perhaps, irreversible decisions. We want to hear your thoughts. Do you think Kate and Philip are capable of taking the final, unforgivable step to keep their secret buried? Or is there still hope for a resolution that spares Vivian and perhaps even redeems them? We hope you enjoyed it and look forward to sharing more with you in the future. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe TV Days Drama Digest for more updates on Days of Our Lives.